Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a birthday card which is truly simple to make using the Sweet Celebration stamp set by My Favorite Things, illustrated by Rochelle Anna Miller. Now first of all I'm going to start with the coloring. This is an adorable image, as I said, illustrated by Rochelle Anna Miller. She has some of her illustrations already at My Favorite Things, and that's why you can get it as a clear stamp. Of course, if you prefer Digistamps, as this is one of her designs, you can also get it in her store as a digital. Now, first of all, this paper is Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper, and I stamped this image out using Gina K Design and Amalgam ink. This ink is good for Copic coloring, but also for watercoloring. That's why I use it, because, well, in the beginning I had several inks, and the one was for the Copics, the other one was for the watercoloring, and I just messed it up so many times because I took the wrong one and didn't realize it. So I need inks that work for both. So here I have one of my favorite brown combinations that you probably already saw in some previous videos, but this is a really warm brown combination. And personally, I really don't like the first layer when I use this combination because there is a big difference between the E18 and E15. But now onto my second layer, I really think that it changes everything. Also the blend goes easier and, well, it's just better. So I'm working my way from darkest to lightest and I'm just repeating this process. I need to do this at least 2 times, but if needed I can add more because this paper can handle it. And I don't know if you saw it, but my tip of my colorless blender fell off and I decided to keep it in this video. Also the blender was a bit dry, and I ended up in the meantime already changing the tip of this colorless blender, and strangely enough, no, for me it was strange, but it's probably logical, but it works so much better if, well, when I change the tip. So I don't know if you have any markers that aren't coloring well and you have refills, of course, because that's also important if your marker would be just dry. But I have noticed that the markers that I use often and that were a bit too dry because I don't refill quickly enough, they can really use a new tip in my craft room. Okay, about the shadowing, I'm trying to keep the shadows on the left side. So for the bunny it was a bit strange. I think it's always easier if you have the shadows on the back of each of the critters. But well, I decided to keep it all on the left, so did that here as well. Then further, this is also a combination that I use often. It's also a lovely combination if you want to color in hair and you want a blonde combination that is not yellow, then this one I recommend. I don't recall who I saw it at. Well, somebody showed me this color combination and I loved it and I used it ever since. Now this little mouse is really small and tiny, so I didn't add a lot of shadows. I was just trying to color it in without going too much out of the lines. Now for the blues of the balloons, I actually did something different. So I love this BG 78, 75, 72 combination, I think, yes. But, well, it's really soft. So I decided to add this B39, and it's a color that I normally wouldn't use together, and I must admit in the beginning I thought, oh no, when I combined it, no. But adding several layers actually minimized the difference between the B and the BGs. And in the end I really liked it. So that's how these balloons came together. I will show you several, I will skip a few and then show you the last one. But also here I added the shadow on the left, and then where the balloons were overlapping I also added a bit of shadow. I also try to not touch the edges with the darkest color. It's a way to help create the idea of rounded shapes. I don't use this all the time. Actually, I don't use it often because, well, if my hand is a bit shaky, well, I'm touching that edge, and I prefer then to really follow the lines to make it a bit easier for myself. But today, while I was coloring, well, today I colored this in, and I made this card a few months ago. But, well, if you're following me on Instagram, then you knew that there was something wrong with the footage and I couldn't solve it. And then yesterday I tried because of all your lovely comments on Instagram. And I'm so happy that I worked it out and I can now share this video with you as well, because, well, I was a bit bothered by it, and that is also why I waited with sharing this card, because I just really wanted to show you the video as well. So happy to share it today. But I actually really had a lot of fun coloring in this image, and I think there are so many ways you can do, well, a completely other color family, or just rainbows, or all warm shades, or, you know, lots of possibilities. And I think I really am going to use this image quite often to recreate this card, because I'm going to show you, even with this color combination, that the background, just using pattern papers, there were a lot of options. So I'm using the matching dies and I'm going to cut it out. I'm placing it really carefully and I'm adhering it with some purple tape to make sure that it won't shift while cutting it out. And for the background, I was actually darting between these two pattern papers because they both work. And there are many other papers that will work, but I decided to keep it to my favorite things. I just love their pattern papers, so I took out several blues that would work with my blue combination that I had here, and then I had to decide which one I was going to use. Now, I didn't know it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to cut it out of everything because I couldn't decide. So I just took all my blue selections to my boyfriend and let him decide. So if you don't like it, I will blame him. If you like it, it was totally my idea. So he decided upon this paper and I cannot blame him. I think it's adorable. So I used the Blueprint 27, a die by my favorite things as well, that is so handy. I really love using this die. It creates the most gorgeous panel and you have some lovely accessories. I was thinking of doing a banner, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to stamp it right on there, keeping it simple. And I did that with the same ink as my images. But as you saw, I had a selection of 5 pattern papers in this blue, so I could just color this image again and again in this combination and add it onto all those other pattern papers as well. 5 cards. So yeah, I could have left it like this, but I decided to just add some dots. So I don't know if you like it. I don't use my white jelly roll pen often, and I think it's a shame. You can add some lovely details. There are a lot of people who add highlights, but I have no clue how to add them, so I avoid it. But I love it when I see it. So I just thought, let's add some dots, random dots all over these balloons. And then I'm going to add it with some Scotch 3M foam tape onto my card base. And then that's done. You can add sequins if you want, you can add some embellishments, you can add glossy accents to the balloons, which I would normally do. I was afraid that my white jelly roll pen would run out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't have a clue why it does and doesn't sometimes, but, well, to avoid losing my dots, I just decided to add it like this. And then this card is completely finished. As easy as that. So this is my card. I truly want to thank you all for stopping by and watching this video. I hope that you had a lot of fun, and I hope, of course, that you like the end result. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, you can always give it a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you back next time. Bye!